Don't skip this. Seriously, something important is waiting for you here. Welcome to the channel.
Listen to me carefully, Chosen One. I carry an important and urgent message today, and this message is not for everyone. This is only for those who walk the divine path of God, those who hear His voice in silence, those who were set apart long before they understood why. If you are not a true follower of God, if you are here only out of curiosity, this message will not resonate with you. You may leave now, but if you are chosen, you will stay. And the fact that this message has reached you today means God's timing is perfect. Not early, not late, exact. The Doomsday is closer than most people think. And no, I am not here to scare you. I am here to prepare you. Because preparation is the difference between fear and peace. Stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to share will calm your mind, strengthen your spirit, and help you understand your role in what's coming. Before we continue, chosen ones, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it with other chosen ones, and comment 777 to declare that you are aligned with God's divine purpose. Why you feel the shift, the signs the world ignores. Chosen one, let me speak to you gently but truthfully. If you've been feeling different lately, it's not in your head. If your spirit has felt heavier at times, yet strangely clearer, that is not confusion. That is awareness. Many people around you are moving as if nothing is wrong, laughing, planning, chasing distractions, and yet deep inside you, something keeps whispering. Something is changing. That whisper is not fear. That whisper is discernment. You may have noticed your tolerance for noise has decreased. You don't enjoy meaningless conversations like you once did. Certain places drain you faster. Certain people feel distant, even if you love them. You crave silence more than stimulation. You want truth more than comfort. This is not you becoming cold. This is you becoming aligned. The world calls it stress, burnout, anxiety, or overthinking. God calls it awakening. When God prepares His chosen ones, He first sharpens their senses. He allows you to see cracks where others see stability. He allows you to feel urgency where others feel entertainment. That is why you feel a quiet pressure in your chest sometimes, not panic, but alertness, like a watchman who knows dawn is near. Look around. Systems are shaking. Morals are blurring. Truth is being traded for convenience. People argue more, listen less, and love conditionally. Yet in the middle of this chaos, you are being pulled inward, not outward. God is teaching you not to react, but to observe. Chosen ones are never the loudest in the room before major shifts. They are the calmest. You may feel tired, not physically, but spiritually. Tired of pretending. Tired of explaining yourself. Tired of being misunderstood. That exhaustion is not weakness. It is the shedding of old layers. God is removing attachments that cannot survive what is coming. There is also a reason you feel detached from fear-based news, dramatic predictions, and emotional manipulation. While others panic, you pause. While others rush to conclusions, you pray. This is because your spirit knows something important. God does not warn His chosen ones to frighten them. He warns them to stabilize them. You are not meant to panic about doomsday. You are meant to stand firm while others shake. Another sign you may have noticed is a stronger sense of responsibility. Not pressure, but awareness. You feel like your words matter more now. Your choices carry weight. Your silence is intentional. That is because preparation is not about storing supplies. It is about carrying wisdom. Many of you have been through intense trials already. Loss, betrayal, isolation, delays that made no sense at the time. Those were not random. Those experiences trained your nervous system to remain calm when things feel uncertain. God does not train soldiers during war. He trains them before it begins. That is why your past feels heavier than most people's present. You were being conditioned. You may also feel moments of deep peace that arrive suddenly, without explanation. In the middle of uncertainty, calm washes over you. That peace is not denial, it is divine reassurance. God is reminding you that you are covered. The world ignores these signs because the world is distracted. But you are not of the world. You are placed in it to observe, to understand, and to prepare quietly. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. Right now, God is strengthening your inner foundation. When things begin to move faster, you will not be overwhelmed. You will be anchored. So, if you've been asking yourself, why do I feel like something is coming? Understand this. Your spirit recognizes divine timing before your mind does. That awareness is a gift, and it confirms something important. You are exactly where you need to be, and you are being prepared, not warned to run, but invited to stand. And let me add this, chosen one, because this part matters deeply to your peace. You may have also noticed that your emotions rise and fall differently now. Things that once triggered anger no longer have the same power. At the same time, small moments of truth move you more deeply than before. A simple prayer, a quiet thought, even a moment of gratitude can bring tears to your eyes. That sensitivity is not weakness. That is spiritual refinement. God is teaching you to feel without being controlled by feelings. That is rare. Most people are ruled by emotion. You are being trained to be guided by discernment. This is why you pause before reacting. This is why you feel a check in your spirit before making certain decisions. That inner pause is God's hand on your shoulder saying, slow down, observe, choose wisely. You may also feel called to simplify your life. Less noise, less drama, less attachment to proving yourself. This is not withdrawal. This is alignment. When God prepares someone for what is ahead, He removes excess weight. Not everyone can walk lightly into a new season. So if you've been feeling different, quieter, more selective, more aware, understand this clearly. You are not drifting away from life. You are being positioned for purpose, and what feels like a shift now will soon make sense when others begin to ask how you remained so steady. What doomsday really means in God's language. Chosen one, sit with me for a moment and breathe. Let us remove the fear that has been attached to a word that was never meant to enslave God's people. The world has taught you to hear the word doomsday and imagine panic, destruction, darkness, and hopeless endings. That is not God's language. That is the language of those who do not know Him. God does not operate through fear. Fear is the tool of confusion. God operates through revelation. In God's order, doomsday does not mean the end of the planet. It means the end of deception. It means the moment when what was hidden can no longer remain hidden. It is the moment when truth becomes unavoidable. And for many, that feels like destruction because their lives were built on illusions. Let me say this clearly so it settles deep in your spirit. God does not wake His chosen ones to scare them. He wakes them so they can stand when others collapse. When God speaks of judgment, He is not talking about punishment the way humans imagine it. Judgment in God's language means separation. It means discernment. It means identifying what aligns with truth and what does not. Light does not destroy darkness by force. Light simply reveals it. And when darkness is revealed, it loses power. That is why this season feels intense for so many people. Lies are being exposed. Motives are being revealed. False security is crumbling. And those who built their identity on status, control, money, or approval feel like the ground is disappearing beneath them. To them, it feels like the end of the world. But to God, it is the correction of disorder. You, however, experience this differently. You do not feel the same panic. You feel seriousness, yes. Awareness, yes. But also a strange calm. That calm is not denial. That calm is alignment. Your spirit recognizes what your mind may still be processing. You know something necessary is happening, even if it is uncomfortable. Doomsday is not God losing control. It is God reclaiming order. Think about this. Every major shift in biblical history was preceded by warning, not chaos. Noah was warned. Joseph was warned. Daniel was warned, not to run away, but to prepare inwardly so they could remain steady while others were confused. God has never abandoned his chosen ones during transitions. He positions them. The world imagines fire falling from the sky because it cannot imagine accountability. But God's fire is not destruction. It is refinement. Fire does not destroy gold. It removes impurities, and only what is real remains. This is why you have been through internal fires already. Betrayal that burned illusions, loss that stripped attachments, delays that tested trust. You were not being punished. You were being refined early so you would not break later. Judgment begins in the house of God, but it does not end there. You were corrected in private so you would not be exposed in public. That is grace. Many people fear doomsday because they are clinging to things God has been asking them to release. Comfort, control, ego, validation. You learned long ago that comfort is temporary and obedience is lasting. That lesson alone separates you. Another truth the world does not understand is this: God's justice is restorative, not vengeful. He does not tear down without rebuilding. He does not expose without offering redemption. But redemption requires humility, and humility is rare in times of comfort. That is why the unprepared resist what is happening. They argue, distract, mock, and deny. Not because nothing is happening, but because acknowledging truth would require change. And change is uncomfortable when pride is involved. You do not resist because you have already changed many times. Your life forced you to adapt, surrender, and grow. What feels like doomsday to them feels like confirmation to you. You sense that things cannot continue the way they were. And deep down, you know that is a good thing. Let me ground you further. God does not judge you based on perfection. He judges based on posture. A willing heart is worth more than flawless behavior. That is why you are not afraid. You are not claiming perfection. You are standing in surrender. Doomsday, in God's language, is the dividing line between those who cling to darkness and those who walk toward light when it appears. It is the moment when neutrality disappears. Not because God forces sides, but because truth does. This is also why you feel a greater responsibility now. Your words carry weight. Your silence is intentional. You are learning when to speak and when to withdraw. God is sharpening your discernment because after exposure comes leadership. Quiet leadership, grounded leadership. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady. Understand this clearly, chosen one. You are not waiting for destruction. You are standing at the edge of revelation. What is coming will reveal hearts, not just events. And you have been prepared to witness it without losing your peace. The world fears doomsday because it thinks it is losing something. You understand that something false is being removed so something true can stand. That difference in perspective is everything. So when you hear that doomsday is near, do not tense your body. Do not let your mind race. Instead, straighten your posture, breathe, and remember who you are. You were never meant to be shaken by truth. You were meant to stand in it. This is not the end of God's plan. This is the exposure of what never belonged in it. And you, chosen one, are not late, not behind, and not forgotten. You are positioned. And that is why this message reached you now, why God chose you for this time. Chosen one, I want you to listen to this part slowly. Let it settle, because if there is one question that has quietly followed you through your life, it is this one. Why me? Why did I have to go through so much? Why did my path feel heavier than others? Why did I always feel different, even when I tried to blend in? The answer is simple, but it is not light. God chose you for this time because you could survive it without losing your soul. God never chooses randomly. He never pulls names out of a crowd without intention. When God places someone in a critical season of history, He first looks at their capacity to endure pressure without becoming bitter. He looks for those who can suffer without becoming cruel, those who can be alone without becoming empty, those who can wait without losing faith. That is why your life did not follow an easy pattern. You were introduced to hardship early, not because God was distant, but because He was close. Comfort creates dependency. Difficulty creates discernment. God needed you to see clearly in a time when many would be blinded by ease. So He trained your eyes through adversity. You learned lessons that others avoid. You learned that people can smile and still betray you. You learned that love can be real and still leave. You learned that doing the right thing does not always bring immediate reward. These lessons were painful, yes, but they shaped your spine. They taught you how to stand when emotions collapse. God does not assign fragile spirits to heavy times. Many of you questioned God during your hardest seasons. You asked why He was silent, why prayers felt unanswered, why doors stayed closed even when you tried to do everything right. But what you did not see then is what I will tell you now. God was not ignoring you. He was deepening you. If God had given you comfort before character, you would have lost yourself in the blessing. If He had given you clarity before humility, you would have trusted your own understanding more than His. So He delayed certain things, not to punish you, but to protect what He placed inside you. You were shaped in private because public preparation is noisy and unreliable. Private preparation is where identity is forged. Think about this. You were never easily impressed by surface-level spirituality. You always wanted depth, truth, substance. You questioned things others accepted blindly, not out of rebellion, but out of sincerity. God allowed that because He did not want you to follow Him out of fear, but out of understanding. That is why you struggled with fitting into boxes, religious boxes, social boxes, even family expectations. You felt called to God, but you also felt misunderstood by people who claimed to know Him. That tension was intentional. God was teaching you to answer to Him before answering to approval. Another reason God chose you for this time is because you learned how to be alone without becoming lost. Loneliness visited you often, but it did not destroy you. It refined you. It taught you to sit with your thoughts, to examine your heart, to pray without an audience. That ability is rare, and it is necessary in times of transition. God knew that when chaos increases, many will look for crowds to feel safe. But you would look inward to stay grounded. You were also tested emotionally. Your patience was stretched. Your forgiveness was challenged. You were hurt by people you trusted, sometimes by those who claimed to love God themselves. Those wounds were not meaningless. They taught you discernment without hatred, strength without arrogance, compassion without naivety. God cannot place someone in a guiding position if they still need validation from those they are meant to help. Let me speak plainly here. Some of you were delayed because God was waiting for you to stop trying to be chosen and start accepting that you already were. Once you stopped chasing approval, comparison lost its grip. Once you stopped explaining yourself, peace replaced anxiety. That shift marked readiness. God also chose you for this time because you understand suffering without glorifying it. You do not romanticize pain, but you respect what it produces. You know that growth costs something. That wisdom is earned, not downloaded. That maturity comes from walking through storms, not avoiding them. This is why you are not easily shaken by dramatic headlines or emotional manipulation. You have already survived internal earthquakes. External noise does not intimidate you the way it intimidates others. You listen, but you do not panic. You observe, but you do not spiral. That emotional regulation is spiritual maturity. God needs people like that in times of exposure. Another truth you need to hear is this. God chose you because you know how to carry responsibility quietly. You do not need applause to stay obedient. You do not need recognition to stay faithful. You learned to do the right thing even when no one was watching. That integrity matters more now than ever. In times ahead, loud voices will confuse many, but steady ones will guide. You were not chosen because you are perfect. You were chosen because you are teachable. Because when God corrects you, you listen. When He convicts you, you adjust. When He redirects you, you follow, even when it costs you comfort. That posture makes you usable. You may not see yourself as strong, but strength is not loud. Strength is staying soft in a hard world. Strength is refusing to become what hurt you. Strength is continuing to believe in God even when life did not match your expectations. God saw that in you long before you did. This time requires people who can stand in truth without becoming hostile. People who can speak without condemning. People who can remain calm while others are reactive. That is why God chose you. Because you have learned restraint. You have learned humility. You have learned timing. Do not underestimate that. Everything you endured was preparation, not delay. Every season that felt wasted was actually strengthening muscles you did not know you would need. And now, as things begin to shift, you are not scrambling for identity. You already know who you are. You are not here by accident. You were placed deliberately, chosen for this time, not because it would be easy, but because you would remain faithful. And that chosen one is exactly why God trusts you now. How the unprepared will react versus the chosen ones. Chosen one. This is where discernment becomes protection. Not everyone will experience what is coming the same way you will. The difference will not be intelligence, money, or influence. The difference will be inner readiness. And that readiness shows itself in how people react when pressure increases. Those who are unprepared will react outwardly, emotionally, loudly. When stability is challenged, they will panic. When truth confronts them, they will argue. When comfort is threatened, they will blame. Fear will drive their decisions because fear has always been their compass. You will notice it clearly. They will cling harder to distractions. They will consume more noise, more opinions, more outrage. Their nervous systems will be overwhelmed because they have never learned how to be still. Silence frightens them because silence reveals what they have been avoiding. The unprepared will look for someone to save them externally. A leader, a system, a voice that promises certainty without accountability. They will trade discernment for reassurance, even if that reassurance is false. This is not because they are evil, it is because they are afraid to face themselves. Fear always looks for control. When things feel unstable, the unprepared will react impulsively. They will rush decisions, speak without wisdom, share misinformation, turn on one another. Not because they are bad people, but because pressure exposes foundations, and many foundations were built on sand. You, however, will react differently. Chosen ones respond inwardly before they respond outwardly. When pressure increases, you slow down. You breathe, you pray, you observe. While others react immediately, you pause. That pause is not hesitation, it is discernment at work. You have learned that not every emotion requires expression, not every thought requires action. That alone will keep you steady while others feel scattered. The unprepared will demand answers immediately. They will say, "Why is this happening? Who is responsible? What should we do right now?" You will ask a different question. What is God revealing? What is being exposed? What is being asked of me internally? That difference in questioning changes everything. Another contrast you will notice is this. The unprepared will seek validation for their fear. They will gather in groups to confirm panic. They will repeat the same worries until anxiety feels normal. Fear loves company. It feels safer when shared. You will not need that. You may feel concern, but you will not need panic to feel connected. Your peace will feel strange to some people. They may accuse you of being detached, unrealistic, or cold. Do not defend yourself. Peace does not need permission to exist. You are calm not because you do not care, but because you trust God more than circumstances. When uncertainty increases, the unprepared will become more reactive in their relationships. Old wounds will surface, small disagreements will escalate, people will project their fear onto others. You will see blame increase and patience decrease. You, on the other hand, will become more selective, not more reactive. You will choose silence over argument, distance over drama, wisdom over proving a point. This is not avoidance. This is maturity. God did not prepare you to win debates. He prepared you to remain grounded. Another important difference is how responsibility is handled. The unprepared will look for someone else to fix things. They will wait for rescue without inner change. They will complain about outcomes without examining behavior. You will feel a quiet sense of responsibility, not guilt, not pressure, responsibility. You will ask yourself how to remain aligned, how to help without controlling, how to serve without burning out. That balance is rare, and it is exactly why God trusts you. As things intensify, some people will become louder in their beliefs, more rigid, more aggressive. They will confuse certainty with truth. You will not need to raise your voice. Truth does not require volume. It requires clarity. Your presence alone will be grounding to others, not because you have all the answers, but because you are not panicking. Calm is contagious when it is genuine. Here is something important to understand so you do not carry unnecessary guilt. You are not responsible for waking everyone up. You are not meant to convince the unprepared. Forcing awareness creates resistance. God awakens people individually, not through pressure, but through timing. Your role is not to drag people into readiness. Your role is to remain ready yourself. Some people will mock your calm. Others will dismiss your discernment. Some will only come to you when their fear becomes unbearable. When that happens, you are not meant to lecture. You are meant to listen. Presence speaks louder than explanations. The unprepared will struggle because they built their identity on external stability. When that stability shakes, they feel lost. You built your identity on God. When things shake, you feel anchored. That is the difference. You will also notice that while others rush to extremes, you remain balanced. You do not swing wildly between hope and despair. You understand that seasons pass, exposure leads to correction, and correction leads to restoration. That long-term perspective keeps you emotionally regulated. God trained you for this by allowing uncertainty in your own life early. You learned how to function without guarantees. You learned how to trust without seeing the full picture. That skill is invaluable now. Let me be very clear here. Being chosen does not mean you will feel nothing. You will feel concern. You will feel sadness for those who struggle. You will feel the weight of responsibility at times. But you will not be consumed by fear. Fear does not rule a surrendered heart. As reactions intensify around you, remember this. You do not need to match anyone's energy. You do not need to correct everyone. You do not need to explain your peace. Your steadiness is your testimony. When others ask how you are so calm, you do not need a speech. A simple answer will do. I trust God. That trust is not naive. It is earned. It was forged in seasons where you had no control and still chose faith. That history matters now. The unprepared will react to survive. The chosen will respond to align. And when the dust settles, when fear exhausts itself, when noise quiets down, many will look around and wonder how you remained standing. That is when your quiet preparation will make sense to them. Until then, stay grounded, stay observant, stay humble. You are not prepared to escape what is coming. You are prepared to walk through it without losing who you are. And that, chosen one, is the difference that matters most. The real preparation God is asking from you. Chosen one. Now we come to the heart of this message, because preparation, as God defines it, is not what most people imagine. It is not panic. It is not hoarding. It is not running in circles trying to control outcomes that were never placed in human hands. Real preparation is quiet. It is internal, and it begins long before anything changes on the outside. God is not asking you to be afraid. He is asking you to be anchored. The first area of preparation is your inner stillness. The world is growing louder, faster, and more reactive. Noise is becoming constant. Opinions never stop. Information overwhelms discernment. God is calling you to protect your inner silence. Not isolation, but stillness. Stillness is where you hear him clearly. When you rush, you react. When you are still, you respond. This is why you may feel drawn to moments of quiet more than before. You are not withdrawing from life. You are creating space for wisdom. God does not speak through chaos. He speaks through clarity. The second area of preparation is emotional discipline. Not emotional suppression, but emotional mastery. God is asking you to observe your emotions without being ruled by them. Fear may arise. Sadness may surface. Concern may appear. These emotions are human, but they are not meant to sit on the throne of your decisions. Preparation means learning how to feel deeply without acting impulsively. When emotion rises, pause, breathe, pray. Let the emotion pass through you without hijacking you. This ability will protect you when others react destructively. Another crucial area of preparation is discernment. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every message is meant for you. God is sharpening your ability to sense what aligns with truth and what drains your spirit. If something brings confusion, anxiety, or urgency without peace, step back. God's guidance brings clarity, even when it is serious. Discernment also means knowing when to disengage. You do not have to respond to every argument. You do not have to correct every misunderstanding. Silence can be obedience when speaking would only feed chaos. God is also asking you to prepare through detachment. Not abandonment, but detachment. This means loosening your grip on things that once defined your worth. Approval, image, outcomes, control. These attachments create fear because they can be threatened. When you release them, fear loses leverage. Detachment does not make you careless. It makes you free. You still care deeply, but you are not enslaved by results. You do your part and trust God with the rest. Another part of preparation is strengthening your prayer life, not through pressure, but through consistency. Prayer is not a performance. It is alignment. God is not measuring how long you pray. He is listening to how honestly you surrender. A few sincere moments of connection are more powerful than hours of anxious repetition. Prayer steadies your nervous system. It reminds your spirit who is in control. It recalibrates your focus when the world tries to pull you into fear. God is also preparing you through obedience in small things. Big moments are built on small decisions. Choosing integrity when no one is watching. Choosing patience when you could react. Choosing kindness when bitterness would feel justified. These small acts shape your character, and character determines how much responsibility you can carry. Preparation also involves humility. Not self-denial, but openness. God may ask you to unlearn things you were certain about. He may challenge assumptions. He may correct attitudes gently. Humility allows growth without resistance. Remember this. Being chosen does not mean being inflexible. It means being teachable. Another aspect God is focusing on is your ability to trust timing. Impatience creates anxiety. Trust creates peace. God is not rushing. He is precise. Preparation means resisting the urge to force outcomes. When you rush ahead of God, you create exhaustion. When you walk with Him, you conserve strength. God is teaching you to wait without worry. He is also preparing you to carry peace into unstable environments. This does not mean you will be unaffected. It means you will not be controlled. Your presence will calm rooms without you trying. Your steadiness will ground conversations without effort. This is why God has been regulating your energy, teaching you when to engage and when to withdraw. Burnout does not serve purpose. Rest is part of preparation. Let me say something clearly here. God is not asking you to save the world. He is asking you to remain faithful. You are not responsible for outcomes beyond obedience. Release the pressure to fix everything. That burden does not belong to you. Finally, preparation means deepening your trust in God's character. Not just His power, but His goodness. You must believe not only that God can handle what is coming, but that He cares deeply about you in the process. Fear enters when trust weakens. Peace returns when trust is restored. So if you are looking for a checklist, here it is in spirit, not in form. Be still. Be discerning. Be disciplined. Be humble. Be obedient. Be trusting. These are not dramatic instructions, but they are powerful. You are not preparing for destruction. You are preparing for responsibility, for clarity, for stability in unstable times. And God would not ask this of you if He had not already equipped you. Everything you need is already within reach. You are not behind. You are not unready. You are being prepared quietly, deeply, and intentionally. And when the time comes, you will not scramble. You will stand. That is the real preparation God is asking from you. Let me add this final layer, chosen one. Because this is where many misunderstand God's preparation. God is also preparing your mindset for endurance, not excitement. Many people expect preparation to feel powerful, dramatic, and energizing all the time. But true preparation often feels ordinary, slow, and uncelebrated. God is teaching you to remain faithful even when nothing feels urgent or impressive. This is why consistency matters more than intensity right now. Showing up in prayer even when you feel dry. Choosing integrity even when no one acknowledges it. Remaining calm even when reactions around you escalate. These quiet choices are strengthening your spiritual stamina. And stamina is what carries people through long seasons, not bursts of motivation. God is also asking you to prepare by guarding what you allow into your spirit. Not everything deserves access to your attention. Constant exposure to fear-driven conversations, aggressive debates, or endless speculation weakens inner clarity. Preparation means being selective. You can be informed without being consumed. You can care without absorbing anxiety. Another subtle form of preparation is forgiveness, not because others deserve it, but because resentment drains strength. God is loosening old emotional weights so you can move freely. Carrying bitterness into a new season only limits what you can receive. Release does not excuse the past. It protects your future. And finally, God is preparing you to trust yourself again under His guidance. You have learned humility. Now you are learning confidence rooted in Him, not arrogance, not self-reliance, but quiet assurance that when you listen, when you pause, when you obey, He will guide you step by step. This preparation is not rushed, it is not forced, it is unfolding exactly as it should, and the more you surrender to it, the lighter it will feel. What happens after the shift? Hope beyond the warning. Chosen one. Now let me guide your mind beyond the warning, because God never reveals a shift without also revealing hope. Fear looks at change and sees loss. Faith looks at change and sees alignment. What comes after the shift is not chaos without meaning. It is correction followed by restoration. God does not expose what is broken just to leave ruins behind. He exposes so healing can begin. After the shift, the first thing you will notice is clarity. Confusion will not vanish overnight, but it will lose authority. Lies that once felt powerful will feel empty. Noise that once demanded attention will lose its grip. People will begin to sense that something fundamental has changed, even if they cannot explain it. For you, this clarity will feel familiar. You have been living in it quietly for some time. While others feel disoriented, you will feel oriented. Not because you predicted everything, but because your foundation is not tied to appearances. It is tied to truth. After the shift, many people will feel exposed internally, not publicly shamed, but inwardly unsettled. They will realize that distractions no longer numb them. Old habits no longer satisfy. The things they leaned on for identity feel hollow. This discomfort is not punishment, it is invitation. Some will respond by hardening, others will soften. This is where discernment matters. You will notice an increase in quiet seeking, not loud religion, not dramatic declarations, but honest questions. People will begin to ask what truly matters. They may not use spiritual language, but their hunger will be real. They will be looking for stability, not hype. And this is where your role becomes clearer. You are not meant to become a preacher on a platform. You are meant to become a presence in people's lives. Your calm will speak before your words. Your listening will open doors that arguments never could. You will guide not by instruction, but by example. After the shift, leadership will look different. Loud confidence will no longer impress. Charisma without integrity will be exposed quickly. People will gravitate toward those who are grounded, consistent, and sincere. You fit that description because you learned stability through pressure. God is raising leaders who do not need crowds to feel important. Leaders who can sit with people in their confusion without trying to fix them immediately. Leaders who understand timing. This is also when community will begin to form organically, not based on shared fear, but shared values. Smaller, quieter connections will become more meaningful than large, noisy movements. Depth will replace spectacle. You may find yourself having conversations you never expected. People from different backgrounds opening up, old barriers softening. When truth is revealed, artificial divisions weaken. Do not rush these moments. God moves through patience. Another important change after the shift is how peace functions. Peace will no longer be passive. It will be active. You will carry peace into tense spaces and watch it alter the atmosphere, not because you dominate the room, but because you do not react to it. This kind of peace challenges people. It invites them to slow down, to breathe, to reflect. Many will feel drawn to you simply because your presence feels safe. You may also experience renewed purpose, not dramatic calling, but quiet clarity. You will know when to speak, when to act, when to wait. God's guidance will feel less confusing because distractions have been reduced. After the shift, justice will also begin to take a different form. Not immediate perfection, but realignment. What was hidden will no longer thrive. What was built on exploitation will weaken. Truth has a way of restructuring systems over time. This does not mean life becomes easy. It means life becomes honest. You will still face challenges, still experience loss, still encounter resistance, but the difference is this: you will no longer feel alone in your discernment. Others will begin to see what you saw earlier. That shared awareness will bring relief. Another beautiful change is this: gratitude will deepen. Simple things will feel sacred again. Conversation, rest, kindness, presence. When illusions fall, reality becomes more precious. God restores appreciation by removing excess. You will also notice that your faith feels quieter but stronger, less performative, more rooted. You will trust God without needing constant reassurance. That maturity brings peace that does not depend on circumstances. And let me say this clearly because many need to hear it. God is not preparing you for survival alone. He is preparing you for stewardship, for responsibility, for influence that heals rather than controls. After the shift, people will not be looking for perfect answers. They will be looking for stable hearts, and that is what you offer. So when fear tries to whisper that everything is falling apart, remind yourself of this truth. God removes what is false to strengthen what is real. Exposure is painful, but it is purposeful. What comes after the warning is not abandonment. It is alignment. And you, chosen one, were prepared not just to endure the shift, but to help others find their footing afterward, not through force, not through fear, but through faith lived quietly and consistently. That is the hope beyond the warning, and it is far stronger than fear. Let me add this, chosen one, because this part brings deep reassurance to your spirit. After the shift, rest will return in a way many have forgotten. Not just physical rest, but mental and spiritual rest. The constant pressure to keep up, to prove, to perform, will begin to loosen. People will feel permission to slow down, to reassess, to realign their lives with what truly matters. You will notice that conversations become more honest, less filtered, less performative. People will speak from the heart instead of from image. That honesty may feel uncomfortable at first, but it will be healing. Truth always heals before it comforts. You may also experience a deeper sense of belonging, not because everyone suddenly agrees, but because alignment replaces confusion. You will recognize your people not by labels, but by peace, by mutual respect, by shared values rooted in humility and faith. God will also restore joy in unexpected ways. Simple moments will feel full again. Laughter will come easier. Gratitude will feel natural. When the weight of illusion lifts, the soul can breathe. So hold this in your heart. What follows the shift is not emptiness. It is renewal. It is clarity. It is a return to what was always meant to be. And you, chosen one, will walk into it not afraid, but steady, aware, and hopeful. And conclusion, stand firm, you are not late. Chosen one, let me leave you with this truth because it is meant to settle your spirit, not stir your fear. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not unprepared. If anything, you are early. Early in awareness. Early in alignment. Early in understanding what many are only beginning to sense. God has not been rushing you because he has never been worried about time. He has been shaping you, strengthening you, teaching you how to remain steady when clarity is rare. And now, as the world begins to feel uncertain, you are not scrambling for meaning, you are standing in it. Remember this always. God does not abandon his chosen ones during transitions. He draws closer. When things shake, it is not to destroy you, but to confirm what you are standing on. And your foundation, chosen one, is firm. You do not need to fear what is coming. You need to trust who is with you. Preparation has already been happening in your life quietly, patiently, intentionally. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. So stand firm, stay grounded, remain humble, continue to listen more than you speak. Continue to choose peace over panic, faith over fear, and obedience over control. That is how you move forward without losing yourself. Before you go, chosen ones, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it with other chosen ones who need this message, and comment 777 to declare that you are aligned with God's divine purpose. Walk in peace, stay ready, and trust God completely.